Let's pay homage to the Buddha, fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today is the last day of the retreat. Before starting the closing ceremony, the Pa-Auk, I want to pay homage to the Buddha, reciting one of the stanzas that I used to recite when I did the Pa-Auk in my country. Listen and be respected. Buddha Bodhaya Titi Tandoyo Dhanataya Sa Dhammataya Tanto Dhammanti Noa Drenaya Sa Nibuddho Nibbanataya Tanloka Prananami Lokatrano Lokatumvai Bodhaya Tasu Pyato Mudo Yo Nago Buddha Nagamiyo Yadya Singhi Yatotha Chinya Swapyadi Buddha Tisali Kuro Raito Tendi Yendo Mui Piye Bodhaya Sa Chutai Tazu Bolu Rokudu Tenle Pijabali Jinju Galaga Tando Kuroga Biyin Chiro Mui Piye Dhammataya Sa Chutai Tazu Bolu Rokudu Meyin Kirita Kudu Meyin Yin Chijazi Chingalaga Tando Kuranga Bingilita Upukate Indo Mui Piye Dhammataya Sa Chutai Tazu Bolu Rokudu Meyin Kirita Kunyin Jabazi Chingalaga Dino Watandaya No Angarajango Kuta Chocha Kurora Yoki Piye Dalaye Drenaya Sa Kuro Tatu Chutai Duro Kuta Wan Balekando Kuta Chocha Yaujava Jinju Galaga Nibuddho Kilita Prilipan Winsan Yote Kurorai Yindo Mui Piye Nibbanataya Sakuro Tatu Vene Duroku Kate Ninjavazi Jinju Galaga Dhamma Nizili Dhamma Sako Tithi Tigruna Shita Mita Pye Hojaro Muke Baleyi Loka Trena Loka Tumai Gudaya Tasu Pyato Mudo Janaga Buddha Naga Miro Yadya Singhi Yatota Tumya Swapyago Nami Namami Kuno Nalong Tong Zong Pyao Pyo Nangu Shoye Gadom Yano Lesong Moye Shiko Nyopai Nyaswapya Nyaswapya Most of the meditators in this retreat are ordained people. You can see that ordained people are those who are doing for the good of oneself and many. Ordained people are those who are doing propagation work. To be able to do for the good of oneself and others, today I want to share all of you the benefit of taking refuge in the Triple Channel.
자기 자신과 다른 사람들의 이익.
This is what we ordained people have to do, and also we have to teach to those lay people. So in Korea, when I am in Korea, I have conducted 4 retreats. Every retreat I give the Pa-Auk, which is new. Only new Pa-Auk every day I give.
매일 저는 법문을
I gave this talk already in 2 retreats. It is easier and very beneficial to apply in our daily life.
이
Talk that I decided to give in this last retreat again.
이것이 아주 중요한.
How does the sasana start? How can we become a Buddhist?
어떻게 우리가 불자가
What can we a Buddhist?
무엇을
This is the question.
이것이
That starts, we become Buddhists by taking the 3 refuges.
부처님의 가르침이.
You can say that sadhana starts with the 3 refuges.
그래서 우리는
So where it ends?
여러분 그것이
It ends with Arahant fruition.
아라한
Being Arahant, we have nothing more to do with our attainment.
우리가 아무것도 할
One's very first words when one becomes a Buddhist are Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. And this way we become a Buddhist.
이렇게 해서 우리는
Only after this undertaking does a person vow to take the 5 precepts.
이렇게
If that is so, which is the more great importance of the 2, the 3 refuges of the 5 precepts? Yes. You would have to say that the 3 refuges are the most supreme. In the Silakhan commentaries,
신락한 주소
the 5 precepts has existed throughout every era.
오비
In the Buddha's dispensation, good and wise persons had observed the 5 precepts. No one had ever attained Arhat fruition.
하지만 아무
Before we discuss more about the precious Triple Jhana, it is necessary to tell you something about the origin of the 5 precepts.
그래서
You know the origin of the 5 precepts?
5개의 기호
That during the very early days of the world, human beings subsisted on just the rich topsoil of the earth. Went by, people started to take home 2, 3 or 7 days worth of topsoil and subsisted on it.
시간이 지나면서
sometime after that, because of the people's greed, the ready-made eatable topsoil disappeared.
시간이 계속 흘러서
Then, due to the people's past good deeds, Saleh Paddy, the name of the paddy, Saleh Paddy came to be.
그런지 사람들의 과거 선행
Ready to eat food was also greedily taken home by the people in varying qualities.
그
They began to develop huts and became sparse
살은
huts in the paddy. Because of the greed, the paddy began to develop huts.
그전에는 그때에
Decided to elect a leader,
그래서
a
사람
person with morality and integrity, the bodhisattva, to manage and to oversee the cultivation and production of paddy.
그들은
Means they appointed a person with morality and integrity,
그
not others, only our bodhisattva.
그것은 다른 사람들이 하는 우리
Our bodhisattva manage and oversee the cultivation and production of paddy,
우리의 보살께서
carried out on the plots of land designated by the bodhisattva manager.
대농사는
At that time, the lazy people did not do any work.
그때
Instead, they would steal the paddy that had been harvested. The other diligent people and live on that
대신
came to be.
그래서 훔치는 행위가
When the thefts occurred too frequently, the people would catch the thieves and bring them to the manager.
도둑이
However, investigated the cases, the thieves would deny accusations, and so the act of lying came to be.
보디사타가 그 사건을 조사했을 때 그 도둑
This was the precept of Musavada, telling lying.
이것이 거짓말
When the thieves lied like that, the owners would get angry that beat the liars to death.
그 도둑
Here the karma of killing, that part of the 5 precepts.
그래서
And get intoxicated on alcoholic drinks, which would put them off their right minds and lead them to commit acts of sexual misconduct. The Bodhisattva laid down the rules to abstain from stealing, lying, killing, taking intoxicants, and any sexual misconduct.
그래서 보살은
These 5 precepts were observed by the good and the wise even before the appearance of the Buddha.
이런
However, there was no one who ever attained arahant fruition before that.
하지만
It was only after the appearance of the Blessed One that the refuge under the Buddha, the refuge under the Dhamma, and the refuge under the Sangha came to be. It was only after the sermons delivered by the Buddha had been heard and practiced accordingly that anyone attained arahant fruition.
그것은
Now we have explained the origin of the 5 precepts.
이제
We are going to talk the benefits of constantly reciting the 3 refuges.
이제
An example of immeasurable benefits of constantly reciting the 3 refuges is that of the Tisarana Gamaniya Mahateva. I would like to tell you something about him.
Go.
The young Samanera, Tisarana Gamaniya, had constantly practiced the noble act of giving dana and that of meditation in order to attain pattern fruition for Nibbana.
어린
What did he do?
그가 무엇을 다나
Dana and
practice
meditation. Sure, when he practiced meditation, he also practiced sila too.
여러분께서
To attain Nibbana. In the time of the Vipassana Buddha, he was fortunate enough to be born in the household of a noble family in the city of Bandukmati. What is the name of the city?
시의
Bandukmati.
감동
But it so happened that both his parents were blind.
하지만
One day after listening to a sermon given by the Vipassana Buddha, he had the urge to become a Buddha. He became a bhikkhu.
윗바
However, as both his parents were blind, he was not permitted to be ordained.
하지만
So while looking after his parents' keep and welfare, he decided that it would be beneficial to recite the 3 refuges all the time. So thinking, he accepted refuge from the bhikkhu, and from then on, he recited the 3 refuges whenever he could, while he walked and even as he was about to sleep.
그래서 그는
How did he recite? He recited the 3 refuges whenever he could, while he walked, even he was about to sleep.
그는
In this way, he looked after his parents until they passed away.
이런 식으로
When he himself finally passed away in the next life, the power and the results of having constantly recited the refuges maintained the Sekka 32 times. Sekka is the king of Deva 32 times, and Sakya was the universal monarch king 7 times. How many times did he become Sakya?
대속传몇번 되었습니까? 32 times.
32 times. Universal monarch?
전륜
7 times. Do you want to be Sakya?
대속 예, no. Yes, no.
Yes. Some say yes, some say no. According to your wish, it is okay.
예,
But if you can't make an end of suffering, you have to be reborn as man, as woman, as devils, or as an animal.
하지만
Okay, if you can be reborn as a Sakya, is it not good?
그 곧
It is better to be Sakya than normal Deva and humans.
그
It is better to be reborn as the devas than reborn as the animals.
그것은
Universal monarch means the king who is very virtuous. Universal monarch is a king who rules the country according to the Dharma. Now the Sakya in the celestial realm, is he ordinary persons or sort of panda? Now the king of the Deva, Sakya, now at the present in the celestial realm, is he ordinary Sakya or sort of panda? He is a sort of panda.
아,
After listening the Dhamma talk given by our Gautama Buddha, he became a sort of
부처님
those who don't want to be Sangha, those who don't want to be universal monarch, you must try to make an end in this very life. The one who doesn't want to be a Sangha, you must go Pa-Auk and practice meditation. Retire from your monastery.
여러분 절을 해서
Otherwise you cannot be even a Sangha sometime.
그렇지 않아요.
Yes, so that's why now, because of constantly reciting the three refuges, made him the Sangha 92 times and universal monarch. Finally, in our Gautama Buddha's time, he was born in the household of a rich family in the city of Savatthi.
마침내
You know Savatthi?
사와
This is a country where our Buddha spent most vasas there.
이
Over 20 vasas he dwelt in Savatthi.
20
So at the age of 7, while playing with his young friends, found themselves in the monastery.
7살
The abbot there, who was an arahant, taught them the three refuges, which the young Tisarana Gamaliya learned right away. And then he began to think, I know this. I have known this for a long time. It is very familiar.
그리고
And then the knowledge of the past came to him. He was so filled with joy.
그는 기쁨을
As he discerned the events of his past, he realized the nature of impermanence, suffering, and non-self.
그가
And so with this insight of vipassana, he attained arhatship at the very tender age of only 7.
이
In which age he attained arhatship?
몇 살? 7
Yes. This is the benefit of reciting, constantly reciting three refuges.
Yeah.
The abbot of that monastery taught them the three refuges.
Cool.
I suggest the abbot of this monastery too, to teach and all of others too. Because most of the meditators here, ordained people are the abbot.
여기
Whoever come to your monastery, please teach them to recite Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. When he became an arahantship, he was so delighted that he called everyone to gather around him and told them about all that he had experienced. He said to them, "O most noble bhikkhus, please listen very carefully to what I am about to humbly tell you.
그는
Who is the most humble one? Arahant. Arahant are very humble because they have no defilements. Now he requested, O noble bhikkhus, please listen very carefully to what I am about to humbly tell you. It is from my own true personal experience."
그는
So he taught his past life story.
그는
He explained them the immeasurable benefits of constantly reciting the three refuges. He said, the fully enlightened Buddha has appeared in this world of ours like the rising of the high bright sun. The rising of the Buddha is like rising of the high bright sun. If there is no rising of the sun, this world will be completely dark. If there is no rising of the Buddha in this world will be completely dark too. Because of the arising of the Buddha, we come to know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome. If there is no rising of the Buddha, even to know wholesome and unwholesome is very difficult. His precious teachings and admonitions have been pervaded all around the world. The drumbeats of the Dhamma, which can put an end to anxiety, suffering and danger, and which will lead you to the deathless, can be heard everywhere. Which Dhamma do we need to share to the people? The true Dhamma should be taught, should be shared to the people. Only then we can do for the benefit of ourselves and others. In the Anguttara Nikaya, in the chapter of 1, the Buddha said, the one who teaches the Dhamma as the Dhamma, and the one who teaches Adhamma as the Adhamma is the one who is doing for the good of oneself and many. And Buddha continued, the one who teaches Dhamma as Adhamma, Adhamma as Dhamma is the one who is doing for the bed of oneself and others and who is destroying the teaching of the Buddha. Now, the Arahant, who is just only 7 years old, was telling the Dhamma which can put an end of anxiety, suffering and danger, and which will lead you to the deathless can be heard everywhere. I want to ask you a question. Is it easy to hear the true Dhamma everywhere nowadays?
Yes.
No. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
No.
No. Even in the Buddhist country, it cannot be heard. The true Dhamma everywhere. Because the Buddha said, the way leading to gain and fame is one, the way leading to Nibbana is another. Many nowadays, even the ordained people, they are pursuing gain and fame. Because of this reason, their teaching becomes not in accordance with the Buddha. So as the Buddha said, the one who is teaching Adhamma as Dhamma, Dhamma as Adhamma is the one who is destroying the teaching of the Buddha. And the one who is teaching Dhamma as Dhamma, Adhamma as Adhamma is the one who is sustaining the teaching of the Buddha. We must be those who are sustaining the teaching of the Buddha. We must be those who are sustaining the true teaching of the Buddha. Only then the Buddha said, he will be the one who is doing for the good of oneself and others. What I have understood in my life, just by listening from teachers, it is not enough. According to the suggestion of the Buddha, we need to compare what we heard from the teacher with the teaching of the Buddha. Buddha said, it appeared in the Anguttara, it appeared in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, I think.
이것은
I have explained all of you one time, I think so. So Bhikkhu said, this is what I have heard from the Buddha's own lips. Buddha said, don't be in a hurry. Compare what he said with my teaching. It is conformity. It is conform with my teaching. At that time, please accept it. If it is not conformity with my teaching, reject it. Okay? Very important. In my life, I do in this way. I listen to Dhamma given by others here. Some parts not in accordance with the teaching, some parts in accordance with the teaching. I accept something which is true, I reject something which is not true. That's why you all need to compare the teaching, compare what you heard with the teaching of the Buddha every time. The reasonable way of studying, learning the teaching of the Buddha. Only then we can do for the good of ourselves. According to my understanding, there are many dangerous, many untrue Dhamma prevailing in the world. Because of this reason, if we want to prolong the teaching of the Buddha, we must say the truth. We must say the truth. We are born as humans. We must be those who do for the good of ourselves and others. We should not be those who are doing for the better of ourselves and others. This is the responsibility that we have to do for the good of ourselves and others. So I want for the ordained people here also to do for the good of Korean people. Many people in the world, not only in Korea, those who are making living, they are very busy that many people cannot meditate. So they like reciting. So if they like reciting, teach them to recite the 3 refuges. And then they will benefit from your teaching. We will continue the words of the Arahant, 7 years old Arahant.
Yeah.
So he said, try your utmost to cultivate the kusala of good deeds in the most supreme fertile land, that is the sasana, and thereby reap the peace and tranquility, that is Nibbana. Continue. If you, good bhikkhus, will develop firm belief in the triple jhanas and strive to uphold the 5 precepts with deep reverence for the Buddha, then you shall surely see the end of all suffering, which is Nibbana. Let me correct one word. I have used, if you, good bhikkhus, but here, especially he used, if you good ones will develop firm belief in the triple jhanas and strive to uphold the 5 precepts with deep reverence for the Buddha, then you shall surely see the end of suffering, which is Nibbana. The very young Arahant continues, saying, if you practice samatha vipassana meditation diligently day and night, with firm faith in the triple jhanas, and with strict observance of the precepts, before long all of you, good bhikkhus, will definitely attain Arahant fruition. The very young Arahant continued, saying, I wish to share with you all what I have personally experienced from constantly reciting the three refuges. And then he recited the following stanza, which extolled the immense benefits to one who constantly chants the three refuges. This is a very meaningful stanza. Do you want to listen? Ditatu buzito homi tekatinyo bhavanahan Tabbi divanu votanti amita bhogan lavanahan Tuvuna vuno tavatapati kano bhavanahan Vitana asalo homi yato abukato maman. These main benefits for worldly needs are, there are 8 benefits of reciting Tribhujanas. Number 1, write down, I will pronounce the Pali words. Yeah, easier. Number 1, Disasu, Pujito, Homi. Disasu, Pujito, Homi. Narahashipshiyo, Disasu, Pujito, Homi. Which is that wherever he goes, he will be adored and respected. Is it not what you want?
Yes.
He is always no. He knows only to say no, I think. Asian time, I heard one people who learned yes and no. Then someone asked him. He doesn't understand what that person asked. Whenever they ask, yes, yes, yes. Now also you learn, I think, to say no, no, no. Okay, so the meaning is, wherever he goes, he will be adored and respected. 2. Tikha panyo. Tikha panyo. Bhava mahan. Tarahashipshiyo. Tikha panyo. Bhava mahan. Which is that he will possess very high intelligence. Number 3. Sabbe deva nuvotanti. Sabbe deva nuvotanti. Which is that the devas will protect him. We can see only with our naked eyes. We can't see the danger that's coming. Devas are those who can see it. Because of reciting Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, 3 triple jumps, they protect us. We need the protection of devas.
우리는 자신들의 보호가 필요합니다.
The more we do for the good of people, the more we need the protection of them. Sure, if we are really teaching the true Dhamma, devas will protect us. But one thing I want to tell all of you, external protection is not real what we have to depend on. Only it is something what we need in our life. According to the teaching of the Buddha, we can protect only by ourselves. Self-protection is the most important. How can we protect ourselves?
어떻게
If we practice morality, we protect ourselves. Those who don't practice morality have no protection. You are the one who is taking refuge in the triple jumps and reciting the triple jumps. Sure, they also practicing morality. The one who is always the one in his mind, the one who is remembering Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha in his mind is the one who is heedful and who is practicing morality. Now I have to explain the third benefits. Number 4 benefits. Amita Bhogan, Amita Bhogan, Labamahan. Parahashipshiyo, Amita Bhogan, Labamahan. Which is that his financial condition will be profitable. Number 5. Suvona Vono. Suvona Vono. Sabbata. Which is that he will be extremely good looking.
그 사람
Number 6.
6번
Patikanto, Patikanto, Bhavamahan. Which is that he will have an abundance of friends. Number 7. Mittanan, Mittanan, Asalo Homi. Parahashipshiyo, Mittanan, Asalo Homi. Which is that his friends will be long-standing companions. Is it good to have friends which is long-standing companions? Yes. He needs long-standing companions. People have no long-standing companions. After about some time they argue. Number 8, the last one. Yaso Abukado Maman. Yaso Abukado Maman. Which is that everyone will respect him, will speak well of him, and that his positive traits will be known far and wide. Do you want or don't you want?
원하지 What?
Very important. Everyone, if they respect, if they speak well of us and our positive traits will be known far and wide, so it will be good. Who is telling this? 7-year-old Arahant. Arahant Samanera Tisarana Gamaniya taught the bhikkhus. Is he teaching just by imagining? No, just by personal experience. Being as Arahant, he can see his past lives. And then he sees that because of these, constantly reciting triple jumps, he got a lot of benefits. let people.
I don't get. I didn't.
You don't get. After attaining as an arahant, he could see his past lives, and he had constantly recite these triple jhanas. Because of this reason, he got a lot of benefits. That's why I heard in Taiwanese people, they like reciting.
저는
Korean people, I also heard they like reciting.
한국 사람 역시
So now you should recite every day, 100 times, 1,000 times. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. Just you, the one who is going to drive 5 hours. Along the way you are driving, don't talk. Buddham saranam gacchami. Okay?
5시간
This Rana Gamaniya, who recite even he was walking. Okay? Wherever he go, whatever he do, even about to sleep, he recite. If you recite this, you are talking about this, talking about that, maybe akusala. And starting from today on, you must all try, I must all try. Okay?
오늘
We will continue. Actually, the long-term main benefits throughout samsara for anyone who is always mindful of taking refuge in the triple jhanas are. Do you want to know?
알고 싶습니다.
Protection from any forthcoming dangers, harm, and threats.
다가오는
Sometimes we have forthcoming dangers, harm, and threats.
우리는
Because of our morality, because of our much wholesome deeds, sometimes we avoid going somewhere where there is danger. Taking refuge in the triple jhanas, we will get this benefit.
그래서
Number 2, freedom from fear and anxiety.
불안과
Number 3, freedom from physical and mental suffering.
삶
Number 4, safeguard from falling into the full woeful realms.
사업
Number 5,
5번
even in the Deva realm, he will, the sub number,
천사
so even in the Deva realm, he will, number 1, live a lifespan longer than other Devas.
자
B,
2번
have a handsome appearance and complexion. C, have a large retinue.
3번
D, he will be revered and worshipped by many.
많은 사람
E, he will possesses a sharp intelligence. F, he will be beloved by many. G, he will be popular and famous.
7번 인기
H, he will have much charisma. Do you know charisma? You know? And I will explain the meaning of the charisma. The powerful personal quality
강력한
that someone has to attract and impress other people.
그 사람이
You want or not?
예
Okay, the last one. He will have influence over others such that no one will be able to harm even his friends and relatives. If you are very busy, if you have no time to meditate, but don't forget to recite Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. How beautiful to recite it. Eh? Are you going to recite? Yeah. I'm very glad to keep this talk to you. No, you're finished. No, you're finished. Very soon, very soon. Because I'm very happy that I can't wait. Finish. I say I'm very glad. So therefore, for those who think they don't have any time to meditate, it is suggested that you constantly recite the 3 refuges. In this way, you are bound to reach Nibbana sometime or another. I don't mean just by reciting. You must also practice meditation. Besides, you will be blessed throughout samsara with all the benefits that I have just been described. Any one of the following 4 conditions entitles one to become a devotee of the Tribhujams. Number 1, having full faith in the Tribhujams. Number 2, relying and depending entirely on the Tribhujams. 3, making oneself a disciple or devotee of the Tribhujams. 4, actually and genuinely performing anjali and paying reverence to the Tribhujams. Anjali, do you know? So, another condition. Conditions when the Tribhujams refuge is broken. If the Tribhujam is not being revered or sought as a refuge any longer, if the Tribhujam's refuge is broken, for the conditions stated above, one becomes a miccha-ditthi and thus commits akusala throughout the rounds of above. You know, King of Deva, he pay respect those humans who are virtue. He pay respect to those who take care of their parents. We humans are superior than Deva. It is not necessary to pay respect the Devas. For example, have you ever been to Sridhargoma? Yes. So in the platform of the Sridhargoma, there are some places, somewhere they build the statue of the spirit, and then in front of that spirit they put this size stone, 1, 2, 3. Some people go and lift, and then they pray, I want to be this, I want to be this. So this is not Tribhujams. This is not the teaching of the Buddha. If we do so, at that time, our powerful wholesome karma related to the taking refuge in Buddha become weak. We can say that Tribhujam refuge is broken at that time. Because we take not only Tribhujams, at that time we take another spirit. This is what I point out. Even in our Theravada country, in some pagoda, because of some people, they have no true knowledge. They read something which is not the teaching of the Buddha. So devils or spirits are not what we have to pay respect. We should do one thing, sharing merits for them. Only then we can finally take refuge in triple jhanas. There is nothing else to take refuge except Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. This is the words of the Buddha. So you all must be heedful not to break the refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. So let me end this Dharma talk by all of us here taking refuge in our precious triple jhanas together. Buddham saranam gacchami, Sangham dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami. I want to recite one of the stanza to encourage all of you to renounce the war, to retire the duty. Hey Dwakame Pape Saintu Tanto Gambira Sindaka Te Tome Pya Nutei Kawo Pape Sita Nupedala Tanto Pyalea Pisega Niya Nuela Hodu Shiga Durogam Dodi Gambira Sindaka Dele Tatabo Dwigo Dele Swachan Sin Chagao Windo Mujagoni Shire Kami Shiga Pupan Udo Gando Siman Tauma Leo Yada Yala Zani De Jijingene Nine Yoyu Guru Pandali Kama Wutu Susuro Hey Dwanga Rupanya Ikama Tiarudi Yane Sasambi Riga Wonsan Yamiga Nyauya Gego Chalam Wedriva Gahu Jawaro Nyan Jeloloji Sompero Mujagoni Shire Papi Zendu Gravata Namarahu Kisa Nyam Yang Luroba Udam Gulo Jole Yogan Twenye Nite Shilan Shian Duye Dota Mujali Gombi Tumipi Nane Kamada Tayahu Sanake Angthong Dodi Lebe Babizita Wotu Kama Udamyama Yaya Jo Leye Yogan Twajagoni Piye Tupidala Samri Pami Yakomin Pondwendo Chicken Lina Dita Ato Tila Godi Go Ngashijagoni Piye Te Tupialea Pisigane Riya Nuela Hodo Shiga Durogam Dogo Nute Karo Tu Laika Jintayago Chinga Matui Atonai Javazi Gondati So we will share merits done along the retreats. We have to try for wholesome dharma. As I told you, to renounce the world, to retire and to practice meditation to be able to make an end of suffering. Idam me punyam, asavekaya, vaham hotu, idam me punyam, nibbanasa, pacayo hotu, mama punya bhagam, sabba sattanam, vajemi, te sabbe, me samam, punya bhagam, labantu.